Hi, this is Top 352. I got a letter from one of my 4 new subscribers. That's exciting to me. And she was asking me about container gardening. She's begun that new adventure and having a lot of trouble with plants turning yellow and just not really looking very good. All common stuff for container gardening. Well, I'll tell you what, Kate. I have experimented with container gardening throughout my whole life. I have 2 ways of doing it. Both of them worked pretty well. So over the next 2 videos, I will explain to you how both of them work. There may be many more ways, but these are the 2 that I came up with. And hopefully between the 2, you can either mix and match the techniques or use one or the other and have a little more success. The first way is to put them in bought-in pots. Clay pots, plastic pots, wooden boxes, just about anything that's going to hold soil. There's different schools of thought on clay pots or terracotta, and there's different schools of thought on having them finished so that they don't absorb moisture. I just don't care. I just used whatever, and whatever usually always worked. The big key to container gardening is your soil moisture, your soil pH, and really where you put the plant. Because container gardening is small, they tend to dry out a lot. They go dry, wet, dry, wet, dry, wet. Well, in some cases, that's not all that bad, but a nice even moisture really benefits vegetables. At least that's what I found. So what I would recommend is, in this first method, is buying a nice pot, at least 1 foot in diameter, at least a foot deep. That gives you plenty of room for a couple plants, gives you room for the roots to stretch out or the tubers to go down. A good commercial soil, you can find them in any of the hardware stores or any of the gardening stores, pre-made, pre-fertilized, moist to begin with, ready to plant. Hard to beat it. The other 2 things I would invest in is I would invest in a moisture meter. I think that's probably the single most important thing that you can have if you're going to container garden. It's got about a 9 to 12 inch probe. You put it down into the soil. It reads usually on an analog reader. A little arrow will come up and show you basically what percentage of moisture you have in your soil. In a lot of cases, it's calibrated so that it'll tell you whether to water or not. Hard to beat. The other one is a good way to test your pH. When you're vegetable gardening, pH is kind of important. And so you can buy a pH meter or you can buy litmus paper. Litmus paper is inexpensive. You buy it in a drugstore. You swipe a piece of it through the soil. You wait for it to change colors and you read that compared to the chart on the back, and that kind of determines what your pH is. And you can adjust from there. That is really the first way of doing it. Another thing I'd do, now that I'm thinking about it, if I were brand new, which at one time I was, I use starts as opposed to seeds. Starts, if you buy a good looking nice start, is already 8 weeks or so into the process. It's doing good, usually a little bit leggy, so you can bury them a little bit deeper in the soil, and by golly, your results should be pretty good. I hope this helps you, Kate. As I think of more, I'll add more, and on my next video, I'll talk about the other way, the alternative way to container garden, and maybe have some more tips that I think of along the way. So hope your day's going real good. This is Top 352 out for now.